Hi, Jen Melton here. In this video, I'm going to show you how I collect data on students daily in my classroom. So first, I'm at my back table where I keep most of my data on my students. It's where I do my small group work, my guided reading groups, running records, and sometimes independent conferences. So what I have back behind my table is a cart, and I'll show you quickly what it looks like. So it's 3 tiers. In the top basket, I have a basket on top so I can take if I need to go somewhere on the top tier. And I can take my cart around the classroom to do conferences if that is what I need to do that day. So I use the folder system. You know about my binder, that's where I keep all of the data. So it's all right there, I pull it out. But the data I'm currently collecting during the week or during a unit, I have in folders. So I have a guided reading folder. This one's a little battered from the school year. But inside I have my guided reading plans. And this is from my district guided reading plan. So I don't really have guided reading plans templates to post on there. It is from my district. Things that I can use during guided reading, I keep that on one side, and then my current guided reading groups I keep on this side. And there's another hack, paperclip, because I have my kids write on stickies, and then I stick the sticky on the guided reading plan, and then pop a paperclip right over there so they don't go flying off. Next, I have a clipboard that has a sheet that I got from the Fountas and Pinnell book. It's a beige book, the original reading workshop book, and it's in the back in one of the appendixes, but it just has, you could make it on a piece of regular paper. It has 6 boxes for students in your guided reading group. It says guided reading observations. Keep a track a lot better when they come to guided reading of just making a note of what page they're on and what book they're reading. So if they're constantly abandoning a book, or if they are flipping around to different books, or if the book's maybe too easy or too hard for them, I have a quick note on that. And it is much easier for me to keep track of it when they come to guided reading, because I know I'm going to meet with them at guided reading, where sometimes reading conferences, it's not as consistent depending on what's going on in the week and if I have extra time, or I do have a scheduled time, but that sometimes gets taken away because it's only once a week. But my guided reading groups I meet with more often. And I put the student's name for each group. And I do a quick note when they come to guided reading, what book they're reading. I might ask them a quick question, how it's going. If I've noticed they've been switching books a lot, I can make a note. If they've lost their book, or, they've been finished 5 times in a row, keeping track of that when they come to guided reading. Just a quick check-in, because I also do response letters every other week. So that's where I can check on their comprehension more, because I do teach 4th grade. So I'm not really doing as many like running records and listening to them read their independent book as much as I would if I was teaching a younger grade, because I read their response letters. So that's one way I just kind of keep track and tabs on what they're reading during independent reading time. And then also for reading, I have a chart for independent conferences. So when I have extra time, or usually about one day a week, I'll meet with a couple students, and I try to meet with them a few times a month on their book. And this sheet I'll post. It's one I made. It has their name, the date, what I observe them doing. I usually do have them read a paragraph or so to me, something they did well. I'll praise them for something, and something I want them to grow on. You might have heard glow and grows, and this is very similar to that, but it's just how I like to keep chart. And this also helps me keep track. I go through every student, and then I'll flip on the back and then do the next time. So I make sure I've met with every student before I meet with another student again. I know some teachers have, and I think I have a sheet that has that posted too, where they have one sheet for each student, and they keep track of their independent conferences. That does not work for me because then I will tend to meet with the same student 8 times before I meet with another student. So I have found that this works best for me to be more equitable because even the high students need to be met with and pushed to grow. So that's that. Then I have the same, pretty much the same chart for writing conferences that I probably do. I meet with several students a day during writing time. I have more time to conference. So I'm not doing like guided writing as much, but it has the same categories. Now here's a hack that I do. I like, as I walk around the room when I'm doing this, I keep my conferences on clipboards that I can grab quickly. But what I also do, because this one I walk around the room way more often than I, way to keep it private is you put a folder underneath, you clip it, and then you put your paper on top, and it can keep it more private. So it's not just when you're walking around, not anybody can see it, or you put it down on a student's desk. So that is just a little hack for that. Then I also, I do like little check-ins for writing conferences during a unit, but before I want my students to go to publishing, I have a little writing conference binder that I do have one student on the sheet, and I keep track of their like final conference and for each unit. So I have one student list of everything that I've done. Now the way this one is set up, I got this from Linda Kurtzenbaum, who does Razzle Dazzle Writing. This is a 2002. I went to a workshop and I got this from her there. Now it does say writing conferences like for 9 weeks, but I do not meet with a final conference for this for every 9 weeks. So I just keep track of each unit, what they're doing. Like I have a personal narrative, fictional narrative, opinion essay. So that's how I keep track of that. I also have in here publishing paper and rubrics and other things. So if I need to flip to something to give a student advice, I can use the rubric.